On this episode of Rock Down South, we chat with Noah Guthrie. He's a super talented artist who has this incredible soulful voice. So incredible that it has taken him to some pretty wild places. We talk about those stories as well as his brand new album titled Blue Wall. He even plays a couple of live acoustic songs for us, so you definitely don't want to miss this one. We hope you all enjoy. Let's go. Welcome to another exciting episode of Rock Down South, a show where my friends and I chat with musical artists and ask them the questions we want to know about. Today, we sit down and talk with Noah Guthrie, and he's a guy whose unique voice has taken him to some pretty spectacular places, to say the least. Places such as a viral cover video on YouTube that's sitting at 27 million views, a full-time spot as a cast member of Glee, and even to the semifinals of America's Got Talent, where he got a standing ovation from the one and only Simon Cowell at his audition. And it doesn't stop there, because Noah has a brand new album out called Blue Wall that is filled with great songs and really shows off his vocal ability. We talk about all this and more on today's show, plus he even plays a couple of live songs for us from the album. I think y'all will enjoy this one. So without further ado, here's the interview. Noah, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for jumping on the show. I was really excited to speak to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And kind of just want to get into it and learn a little bit more about you. I think you're originally from South Carolina. Is that right?
Yeah. So I'm born and raised here in upstate South Carolina, and still here. Still holding down the fort. You know, I kind of commute back and forth from here to Nashville and kind of wherever I need to go. But my operations are here in South Carolina.
Okay, cool. How often are you going to Nashville?
As much as I need to, really. Usually when I'm there, I'm doing, probably a week or so of writing or a week or so of taking meetings, and then coming back here and just kind of being there when I need to, making sure I'm available for people,
Gotcha. So do you do any performances around Nashville, or is it just strictly writing and, business kind of stuff?
It just kind of depends. I haven't done any performances there in a long time. I don't really know why that is. Just kind of hasn't, been a part of the touring schedule. But I'm usually there taking meetings, doing a lot of writing. But I'd love to play some more over there pretty soon. I'd love to get in the basement or something. That'd be great.
Yeah, because you're not strictly like I don't see you as a country artist per se. You got that Americana sound and some rock sound to it, and you do have some country sounding ish songs, but I wouldn't say that you're strictly a country artist, right?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think I mean, really what you said is right. Kind of Americana with I have some kind of country leaning songs. I have some more folky leaning songs, but I think at some point I just decided, I'm going to make music, and it is whatever it is, it's it's something I'm proud of. It's something I feel I'm connected to. And if people want to try and put a label on it, they can. And if not, I'll keep making music.
That's actually one of my questions I had a little bit later on, but the sound that you're striving for, it's, I think it varies song by song from what I've heard of yours. So it's really not any particular sound that you're going for. It's really, the Noah Guthrie interest for the song, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and like when I'm writing, of course, I kind of have the tendency to be like, well, this is definitely a country song, or this is definitely just a rock and roll song or whatever. But no, I mean, when I'm writing, I'm trying to write from the heart, trying to write something that sounds authentically me. And that's the main goal. But I guess like if you're going to put a label on it, it probably is Americana. I think I've found some room to work within the Americana genre. So yeah, I guess I'd probably call it that.
Yeah, Americana would probably be a good label for it. Everything is definitely acoustic guitar driven, is what it sounds like. I didn't think I heard anything that was maybe beat driven, drum driven, or anything else. It was all seemed to come back to the acoustic guitar for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a little variation in there, but yeah, I think you're right. I mean, most of my songs, I kind of I live and die by the old adage of, if you can't just play it on an acoustic guitar and kind of get the same feeling across, get the same mood across, then maybe it needs some more work. I think everything for me, well, yeah, pretty much every song starts on acoustic guitar, just me and acoustic, and yeah, I think it's just one of the best instruments to kind of lay down a bare bones idea, and it can also be the only thing you need.
So speaking of acoustic guitar, tell me a little bit more about your musical background. I mean, when did you start playing music? I mean, did you play other instruments, and when did you start singing?
So I have been singing, as long as I can remember. I think as long as I could really make noise, I've been singing. But I picked up a guitar when I was, I think, 14, maybe 14 or 15, and started teaching myself to play, and learning cover songs and then writing songs, and kind of fell in love with writing music. But I've been around music my whole life. My older brother is in music. He's my drummer. He's a recording engineer. He helped produce this record. My dad has always been a singer and a studio singer, and so is my stepmom. And yeah, we were just kind of around it from a really young age, and kind of just got into it really early. So yeah, it's been in the blood a little bit.
Especially if your parents were involved in it. That's definitely a good foundation for being a recording artist.
Yeah, I think I grew up just watching them do their thing, and just always loved expressing myself through music. I think the first instrument I got was a bass guitar. So I started on bass, and I need to get a new one actually. But it's just that's another one of those instruments that's so good at laying a foundation for everything else that you learn in music. And yeah, so I started on bass, and then I slowly but surely found myself to guitar, and also played trumpet in the high school marching band. So I'll throw that out there, just a little bit extra on the resume. But yeah, just I've always been a fan of music, always loved it, and it's just a part of me.
And when was it that you realized that you had a voice that had a really good sound and a tune to it, that you could do some cool things with it? When was that where you said, I think I'm actually a pretty good singer, like good enough to maybe do this professionally?
I think, I mean, really, it's just once I started performing on stage, when I was in high school, I had this kind of blues funk band with my brother and our best friends, and got to play on stage a lot, and started, just playing local clubs and stuff. And, I think it really happens when you get good feedback, when you get people telling you, hey, you can do this at the next level or something, and I was very lucky that my parents and the immediate people around me were all very supportive of me doing music. I was always told that it was a thing that was possible to do for a living, and I don't think a lot of kids get that. A lot of kids get music needs to be a hobby, or it's not something that you can pursue as a career. But that's not true. And I was just lucky enough that I had the support there. And I think I figured out after a couple shows with the band, and what it felt like to be a front man, and kind of lead a band. I knew it was something I wanted to do, and I just kind of figured, yeah, I think people seem to like it when I open my mouth, so this is nice. So I'll try and chase that down.
Yeah, man, I really like your voice. I mean, technically you have the chops, but also you kind of have that God-given talent behind it where it's, people can learn to sing well. And, there's a lot of good singers, but I definitely think that you have that really nice tone to your voice, which, can't really necessarily learn. I mean, learn things, but, people either have it or they don't. And speaking of your voice, if you could emulate something that another singer does or make your voice do something different, what would that be? What's that thing that you kind of wish that you could do with your voice or sound like?
I wish that I could do what I know as whistle voice. So whistle voice is kind of I don't really even know how to explain it really, but you've heard it on Minnie Riperton's old tracks. What I hear it, something that just came up kind of in the zeitgeist recently. I was watching that that Beatles documentary, the Get Back documentary. And Paul McCartney, I think, is one of the most, I don't know if you can say he's underrated, but I mean, as a singer, he's one of the most underrated singers I've ever seen, because he does so much with his voice, and he does so many different kinds of voices. But he also does this kind of this whistle voice type of thing, which is like it's kind of like it's a really high pitched kind of howl type thing that you can kind of throw in. You usually throw it in as like an ad lib or something. But it sounds so rock and roll when you do it right. And I've just never been able to do it right. So I would love to learn how to do that.
Do you think that's something you might be able to learn with enough practice, or is
I
that something
think so. I just haven't found anyone that can teach me. But I think so. I mean, I think I could learn it. It's one of those things that, like, you're basically taking your normal vocal register and going a couple octaves above what you should be able to do, but there's a way you do it without hurting your voice. And I'm just terrified if I try to do it by myself, I don't want to hurt my voice. So I need to find somebody professional to help me do that.
Well, cool. And one of the reasons why I asked that question is because obviously you've covered quite a few songs. I think you have 5 cover albums
Yeah.
that you've put out with a lot of fantastic tunes on there, where you definitely try to emulate some other people's voices, but make it your own. Tell us a little bit about those albums.
Yeah. So, I started doing covers and stuff when I was a teenager. I started putting them on YouTube back when YouTube was kind of a new-ish thing to help promote artists and help promote musicians. And I started putting these covers out, tried to kind of put my own spin on them, and really just do my own thing, and got some recognition out of them. Got a couple viral videos, and they really just helped get the name out there. And while I was doing that, I was also writing my own stuff and trying to figure out when the right time was to release my first album. And I had one viral video in particular of a song I covered called "Sexy and I Know It," which is just a ridiculous pop song that I kind of flipped it on its head and did a more like soulful bluesy version of it, and people really, really liked it, and they reacted really well to it. And I got a big influx of fans from that, and just tried to capitalize on it. I put out a record not too long after that video. And things just kind of started building from there. But yeah, I got my start doing covers, and I'm thankful for it. I think it got a lot of people in the door.
Yeah, I like those covers. I think some of my favorites that you've done are "Man in the Mirror," of course,
Yeah.
"Radioactive," and of course "Harder to Breathe." I think were really, really
Man.
fun.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, everybody should go check out the cover albums, as they are very good. But enough of talking about cover music. Let's talk about why we're really here. Let's talk about that brand new album that you just released, Blue Wall.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So I've listened to the whole thing a couple of times. I enjoy it. It's a good album, man. There's a lot of good songs on it. I have a few songs that we'll probably get into, but tell me a little bit about the making of this album.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad you like it. Thanks. First of all, thank you. But this group of songs on this record, these are songs that my band and I had been playing for a long time. A lot of these songs are 3 or 4 years old, and we had been kind of battle testing these songs on the road and getting as many reactions as possible from every stage that we played on. And just kind of had a good idea of which songs were going to make the record. And eventually we finally got the studio and made it happen. And it's been a long time coming, but I'm so happy that they're out there now.
Yeah, I have some notes on the songs that I was listening to. Some of my favorites were "Welcome Strangers," of course, is an awesome song. It's a little bit more on the upbeat side. I like that one. That one was good. Of course, "High Enough" had a little bit more bluesy tone to it, which I thought was pretty cool. A little bit change up there. "Wishing I Was Wrong" has a little bit more of a country sound that I enjoyed. And then "Feel It Now." I was trying to put my finger on it, what it sounded like. And I don't know, I could be totally off here, but it kind of felt like a song that Bryan Adams might try to cut.
Oh man. Wow. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of hear that. I think, you kind of alluded to it earlier, but yeah, when I look through, I'm looking at a CD right now of all the all the songs on there. And when I look through it, it's just like it's kind of a smorgasbord of different stuff, different flavors and textures and stuff. And I think that's, again, just us playing music and doing what we love, and not trying not to worry so much about where it fits, because hopefully the listener will kind of decide where it fits.
Yeah, that was one of the things I liked about this album, is that you took the listener in some very different paths. All the songs didn't sound the same. A lot of them did have an acoustic driving force behind it, but they didn't all sound the same to me, which I liked.
Sure.
And they weren't all, you had some upbeat ones too. I mean, you had some Southern rock things like "Let the Damn Thing Break." That's an awesome Southern rock song. And
thank you. I'm glad you said that, because I feel like I was super influenced by Southern rock growing up, and I don't listen to it as much anymore. I try to now. I try to kind of slip it into my listening routines and stuff. But with this album in particular, I've felt that influence a lot more, and I'm happy. I'm glad you said that, because I didn't know if anyone else would kind of pick up on it.
no, and also I think was it that song? I think it was that song that your voice was doing a little bit of crazy stuff. Stuff that was a little bit more crazy than your other songs.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just sometimes you write a rock and roll song and you just got to be rock and roll with it.
It was a little bit more of like a scream or something that I heard in there. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, definitely a lot of shouting in that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of good songs. Another Southern rock-ish song that I heard on there was "Only Light I Need," which I thought was pretty good as well.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much.
So everybody definitely go check out this album. I think it has something for everybody. You got some of the Americana flavor there, some Southern rock, a little bit of country-ish sounding things, and some pop influence as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's just one of those things. We just tried to be ourselves.
And I definitely have to ask you about it. You get asked on it probably every interview. Tell me about your experience on Glee.
Yeah, so Glee was a big chapter of my life, a big chapter of my career, and it was something that honestly just really came out of the blue. I was not wasn't looking for it at all, and I had been touring. And I played a house show, a small house show in San Francisco, and I think it was maybe 10 or 15 people at this house show, and one of the people there the following week was going to be on a judges panel for like a talent competition. And he was on this judging panel with one of the casting directors for Glee. And the Glee casting director said that they were having trouble finding this one person to, kind of fill the shoes of this role they're trying to cast. And they needed a shy, chubby kid with like the voice of Otis Redding, is what they said. And I don't think I have Otis Redding voice, but I've got a soulful voice. And this guy who had seen my show a week before was just like, oh my God, I know this guy, I know who you need. So let me get you guys in touch. And didn't really think much of it. I thought, oh, well, thanks for making that connection, but like, okay, cool, whatever. And then yeah, sure enough, I got a phone call from the Glee casting department, and one thing led to another. I did an audition, and they signed me on to the show for the last season. And it was quite an experience. I think seeing how TV is made is a lot different than watching it on your couch. And it was really a lot of fun. I got to sing a lot of great songs. I got to meet great people, and yeah, just make some good friendships that I still have to this day.
Man, that's pretty cool that they handpicked you and you got to go do the whole TV thing and singing on a regular basis.
It was nice. It was really nice. It was kind of intimidating at first, just because there's a lot of like, not only is there singing, but there's acting and there's dancing, and I'm those other two things I'm just not great at. So I just had to kind of roll with it. My first day on set, I thought was going to be kind of a quiet day, and then they threw basically the whole like senior cast that had been there for 7 years. They threw all of those people into the scene with me, and I had to act with them on my first day. And I was just like, I feel like I am just so bad at this. And luckily they kept me, and they I think they liked what I did. So it was great, and everybody on that show was like a big family to me. They really made me feel at home.
And some more TV that you've done. I know you did America's Got Talent, and I think you made it to the finals of that show, right?
Semifinals, yeah, it was that was a whole nother thing. Reality shows completely different, but it was great. I decided to do it after kind of passing on that opportunity a couple times. I decided to do it. I think that was 2018. Decided to do it because I just needed, I wanted like a new group of people to see my music or hear my music, and they had 15 million viewers an episode, so that was the way to do it. And yeah, it ended up being a great thing for me.
So obviously, this is the Rock Down South podcast. So I know I listen to a wide variety of music, especially in the rock scene, from classic rock to heavy metal to 80s rock and even modern hard rock. But what do you usually like to listen to rock wise, kind of
Mm.
traditionally? And then are you listening to anything newer or anything lately?
Let's see. Traditionally, um, I mean, I grew up on everything from Leonard Skinner to Led Zeppelin to, all of the classics. And I do still listen to a lot of that now, especially when I'm feeling nostalgic. I think honestly for nowadays, like when I'm really listening, I'm usually listening to that kind of like I guess you'd call it like roots rock or like Americana rock or whatever. But there's a million different genres for everything now. But anything from, I love Jason Isbell and like anything in that vein. And I try to keep an open mind. I also listen to a lot of other stuff too, a lot of like more quieter folk and some pop stuff. There's an album by a woman called Yeba who's amazing. And it's just like been consuming my days. But yeah, I just try to keep an open mind.
All right. And now Noah is going to play a couple of songs for us.
All right, so this is a song of mine called Only Light I Need. Honey, turn off the news. All it does is break glass, cut my ears. I don't want to hear it anymore. If you don't want to hear it anymore, I'm taking signals from you. Let's make a getaway fast so no one hears. I don't want to be here anymore. If you don't want to be here anymore, 'cause the rain's relentless, or so it seems. And all the fighting senseless, turning friends to enemies. We're looking for the sunshine, buried in the headlines. But honey, you're the only light I need. So can we just slow down, let the candle burn out? Honey, you're the only light I need. Baby, let's get lost. Just take a deep breath, close our eyes. We've been standing in the smoke so long. Standing in the smoke so long. And the fire's relentless, so it seems. Maybe these burning bridges are just setting us free. We're looking for the sunshine, buried in the headlines. But honey, you're the only light I need. So can we just slow down, let the candle burn out? Honey, you're the only light
the sunshine, buried in the headlines. Honey, you're the only light I need. So can we just slow down, let the candle burn out? Honey, you're the only light I need. Honey, you're the only light I need. Honey, you're the only light I need. Honey, you're the only light I need.
All right. Excellent song, man. I enjoyed that one.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you did.
Yeah. And I think you got one more for us, right?
Yeah, I got one more for you. And this is a song. This is off the new record. It's a song about growing up and figuring out your place in the world. A song called "Hell or High Water." He hung around for a while, made a claim on a life he swore would never change. He watched it burn away. She didn't call for a while. He counted on time to do its thing. She watched him fade away. Blame your own decisions. You can blame it on a million things. Childhood is ended and you never got a chance to grieve. And he said, hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. Long, long time. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. First he needed a break to loosen up, shake out his feet and start moving. Well, just keep moving. Then he needed some time to sort it out, draw a hard line to stand behind. Boy, what do you believe in? 20 years comes and goes before you can even speak. Sometimes risking it all can feel like the safest thing. And he said, hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. Long, long time. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. Now he's choking on his words, 'cause he finally heard that getting older is just another term for surviving. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. Long, long time. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. He's been around for a while. Body's aching, hands are shaking. He begins to smile.
Man, those are a lot of fun. Thanks so much for playing those.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Excellent. Now, let's get back to the interview. So these next questions are what we close with and ask everyone. So first question, what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Oh man. I would tell him to just don't be so serious, man. Just relax. I feel like, and it still happens today. I feel like I've always been a little bit of an old soul. And that was no exception when I was 21. I just, everything is so serious. I take everything so serious, and it's good to a certain extent. And I care about what I do, but I just tell them to relax. Everything's going to be fine. Just enjoy yourself.
It's a good answer. So next question, what are you drinking lately? If you don't drink alcohol, it can be anything refreshing you like to drink.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm a big whiskey guy. So my favorite whiskey is Michter's whiskey or Michter's bourbon. They make several different things, but I would say probably Michter's rye is what I've been drinking.
I'll have to try that one out. I haven't had that one.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's just like a no frills kind of, an everyman's whiskey, I think.
So as you know, this is the Rock Down South podcast. So what is something, or maybe a couple things, that you love about the South?
Oh man. So this gives me a good way to talk about my album too, because so Blue Wall it's another name for the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I have grown up in this small-ish town called Greer, and it's been, right outside the Blue Ridge Mountains. I've spent all of my life going there and hiking and just kind of being out in the country. We're still kind of out in the country. I think you can't really get away from the suburban lifestyle now, but we're somewhat out in the country. And I think what I love most is just this slow paced kind of lifestyle. I never feel quite at home in a city. Like I love visiting cities. I love traveling. I love experiencing new stuff, but I never feel right unless I have a bunch of trees and a bunch of grass and just country. That's what I need to feel good and to feel at home. So I think I like that the most about the South. You can still find a lot of greenery, lots of green spaces. That's what I need to function.
Hey, thank you so much, Noah, for being a part of the show today. Where can people find and connect with you online?
Yeah, if you want to hang out with me, you can hang out on Instagram. My handle is @only1noah. You can also find me on TikTok now. That's noahguthrie.music. And then all the other usual places, facebook.com/only1noah. And if you want to, keep in touch with my music and any touring dates when those come back around, you can go to noahguthrie.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the show today. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I had a really good time chatting with Noah. His voice is simply amazing. I could probably listen to him sing all day long. Plus, he's a super cool and chill guy and was really fun to talk with. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him play live soon, and we'll be giving his music a regular spot on my rotations. So make sure to go follow Noah on all of his social media pages and give his latest album, Blue Wall, a listen. Also, take a look at his tour schedule as he may be playing near you sometime soon. Check out all our content at rockdownsouth.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest updates. And as always, the views and opinions expressed by our guests on the show are theirs and don't necessarily reflect our own. I'm Mark, and you've been listening to Rock Down South. See y'all next time.